What up, loved ones? What it do? Spotty Young right here. You know where I'm from. Thank you guys for watching, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button real quick and give it a like if you think it's cool, if you think it's real. You know what I'm talking about? But right now, I'm gonna be answering one of the questions, like what was my experience from my point of view, my perspective about doing time with the Sureños, man. And I'm gonna answer everything. I'm gonna answer doing time with Sureños, Norteños, Bulldogs, Crips, Bloods, Bay Area, fucking Woods, whatever. And everybody that I fucking did time with, my experience. I'm gonna be talking about that. I can't talk about the beef with Jeff Rocks and MS-13 though, because I don't know how it started. I don't know the history. But I'm gonna have one of the older homies spit some shit. You know what I'm talking about? But right now, I'm doing something else. So yeah. Anyways, doing time with Sureños, man. What was my experience? Uh, Going back all the way to motherfucking Silmar, Juvenile Hall, when I got busted from my bid, that the bid that I did 13 years straight. You know, when you're 15 years old and you go to you get locked up at 15 and you just turned 15, you don't know any better, dog. You're not really all there. You think you're a man. You think you know everything, like I did. I thought I was a Mr. Know It All, but hell no. You're 15. Yeah, so your level of comprehension, my level of comprehension is just of a 15-year-old little kid, man, and that's what happened. So I'm gonna start with that because I got busted in October 2003, and my birthday was just on July 25th, so it was just a couple months. I just turned 15. You know what I'm talking about? So, anyways, going to Silmar. Um, yeah, man. I'm just kicking it. I got charged, like I've said before. I got charged as an adult, so they got me on the unfit building, Unit Z, and I'm kicking it, hanging out. The first thing that the first friends that I ended up being friends with was with the Sureños, man, the Sur 13, homie, some of the fools over there, because they were friendly to me, and not all of them, of course. They were friendly to me because they know that my enemies was the Van Nuys ABZ. They seen me take off on them. So and what do you call this? The ABZ, they're Crips. They probably have more in common with the blacks, because the blacks are Crips. So, but anyways, I'm from Jeff Rocks, you know what I'm talking about. And before I came to that unit and Unit Z in Silmar, my homeboy was already there. The homie fucking Buko from the hood, and some other homies, Jumper and shit. They went there before me. So people already know about the homies and shit, about my hood and stuff like that. But so yeah, I was cool with old boy from Langdon, man. And there was actually three of them. They were fighting a murder case. For some reason, man, they made it. They went home. But being friends with that old boy from Langdon, I couldn't. I didn't know his enemies, the Blight Street, because if you're friend, if you talk, or you're cool with somebody because of your background, or you got some things in common, you ended up, he tells me his enemies, Blight Street. So I'm like, all right, so I'm not gonna fuck with him. I'm just gonna fuck with this guy. And then I was also cool with homeboy from Bryan Street, Salvadorian homie and shit, man. Hella cool, man. I mean, we were kids, man. We were having fun and shit. The homie from Langdon would be dissing my barrio. They jerk off, jerk off. I'd be dissing that was barrio too, like lengua. But it was cool. And then they be giving me props, because sometimes I have to get down with some black folks and shit, calling me out, acting hard and shit. So I would go to the room and take my fade and shit, and I'll do my thing. I don't want to brag about anything, but I'll do my thing, and then I'll come out, and then the essays, the Sureños, they would give me props, dog. And and I was different, like I said. I wasn't a Crip or a Blood, so whatever I knew, I just know from the streets. You know what I'm talking about? That's all I knew from my surroundings before I got busted. You know, and even the staff in Silmar, he knows about us. They heard about us because they heard about my crime. Because my crime happened near Pacoima area, and I think the staff over there. I think that's where he was from, or that's where he associates with, or knows people from that place. You know what I'm talking about? So they know about it, man. And but anyways, long story short, I tend to hang out or be more comfortable or be more friends with like the Mexicans, man. Not all of them, because some of them I get down with some of them, you know. But some of them I'm cool with, dog, and I like their get down. They like my get down. You know, you're always gonna have somebody that you're cool with from all the race, always. And that was my experience in Silmar Juvenile Hall. I was just like, and the thing is because they see me discriminate against my own people, like from some of the home homeboy from Long Beach and them. Uh, so they tend to gravitate to that more. So they're like, oh no, you're on our side, and they would play around. They would write on the paper JFX 13. JFX 13. The last letter of the JFX was already an X, and then you're gonna put an X3 more. So we don't talk about. Anyways, long story short, yeah, that was my experience with them and shit. I was cool with them. Um, you know, that's still my juvenile hall. This is little kids. We're still fighting our case. And then after we get sentenced, after I got sentenced, I go to fucking CYA, and I was still cool with them, man. Not all of them, you know what I mean? It's. I think it's ignorant when you just like if you have a bad experience with one fucking race, and then you automatically assume that all of them are the same. That's just plain ignorant, man. And I wasn't that ignorant. But yeah, of course I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna have my feelings about it. But you know, I like to be open minded, man. I like to see the bigger picture always. You know, so yeah, that was my experience in Selma Juvenile. And then I go to CYA, and I was still cool with some of them, dog. But in this case, I kind of be like be more cautious now because the rules are different. CYA is different from Selma Juvenile Hall. So in CYA, it's gang banged out, and during that time, every day, or not, you know, pretty much like I'm expecting to run into a MS, in which if I do, I gotta take off, mandatory, because I got eye crackers for them. I got their hood whacked out on my leg, and not just their hood. When I was in YA, I got 6 hoods whacked out on all my shit, on my leg, in YA. It's called eye crackers. It's called eye busters. It's very disrespectful. If you got somebody's hood whacked out on you, then they have to take off, mandatory, for life, till somebody gets shipped out somewhere else, different institution. And I had that shit on MS, so I know that when they pull up, it is what it is, you know. So I didn't really what do you call this? Like I didn't really trust them all the way because I've been betrayed. I've been backstabbed by some of the Sureños, which I thought was my friends. Then we ended up fucking fighting. You know what I'm talking about? Some fake shit, man. And you know, just because I've had bad experience from some of the essays, the Sureños, doesn't mean that they're all the same because some of them were honorable, dog. Some of them were fucking straight G with it, homie. You know, and there's no denying that. So that was my experience. Plus in CYA, before I moved on, because this is story time right now. In CYA, the Asian Pride car, they were clicked up with the Norte, so I got a gang of Norte homes too, and I've seen they get down. They're soldiers too, dog. Not all of them, but I like their get down, man. They fucking G with it too, dog. You know what I'm talking about? And as a matter of fact, until right now, I'm calling the fools that Norte fools that I fuck with from YA. We're just chopping it up the other day, man. You know who you are, huh? You know what I'm talking about? So, but yeah, I'm gonna talk about you guys later on. Talking about the Sureños right now. So that was my experience with them. So it's gonna be biased because in YA they have the whole beef going on with the Sur 13 and the Norte. So there's a lot of shit going on for that. But I go to the after YA, I go to the Pinta. It's a whole different ball game. No more homosexual shit. None of that predator shit from YA. So everybody that was doing that over there, they can't go to the pin. You know what I'm talking about? No sex offender, no none of that fucking weird ass shit, man. But anyway, so fast forward, doing time with the Sureños in the Pinta. To those who don't know, man, Sureños are the deepest prison gang in the California. Dominant. They're just like they got the most soldiers, you know, and there's so many of them that they have to be a dictatorship in order to control the mass because there's so many of them, you know, and pretty much if they want to, they just fuck shit up. That's how deep they are. If they get if the shot caller send him a wheeler, talk about go, you know, take off on this, take off on that, go to hunger strike. Them soldiers, they're gonna do it. They go by that code. They go by that rule. You know what I'm talking about? And yeah, and by the numbers, but you know, by numbers. Of course, you're always gonna have advantages with numbers. So for as an example, I'm gonna use Pare Nick, OG Pare Nick, and OG Pare Bulldog in San Quinn. As an example, that numbers play a good part also in any spontaneous riot, you know. So Pare Nick, OG Pare Nick was just playing basketball, man. San Quinn. I don't know how good he is because we haven't really played. But you know, that's what you do in prison, man. Some people they work, some people they play basketball. You do everything because you're bored. You're in prison. And the OG Pare Nick was playing basketball with the Southsiders, with the Sureños, and one of the Southside, he was for some reason he was confronting. They got into a confrontation with OG Pare Nick. So I guess in the middle of being emotional, or I don't know, maybe because when you have numbers, you feel more comfortable. You feel like what you're gonna do. There's a lot of us. It's only a little bit of you. I probably would have that same mindset if there was like so many of us. But you know, I guess that guy that OG Pare Nick was playing basketball with, that's how he felt, to the point where he started fucking pointing fingers on the Pare's face, man, like this. That's what he said. So OG Pare Nick, you know what I'm talking about? You know, he ain't got no choice, man. So what he ended up happening was he gave him a two combo. Bam, bam. Two combo punches and shit. So the SA dude just fell to his knees. Just dropped, fell asleep. That's when shit got cracking. That's when another fucking Uso Samoan Southsider punched the fucking the Pare from the side. And then there was a lot of commotion going on in the basketball court. According to OG Pare Bulldog, he was just working out, doing his pull-ups and shit, or whatever, dips from in the bars in San Quinn. He saw the fucking the homie Pare Nick, you know, get into some shit. So he had no choice but to go over there, help him out. So he kicked off, man. Boom bam, boom bam. And one of the big ass Uso homies, he was just knocking fools out left and right and shit, dog. Bam. Anybody that was fucking come close to him, just knocking fools out. according to the homie story and shit. And so numbers they play a good part because there was a lot of them. There were 62 of them, and there was only 14 homies. It was a spontaneous workout, all because the Southside dude just pointed a finger at Patty's Nick. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, with numbers you can do a lot of shit. You know what I'm talking about? But you have the option, like I mentioned earlier. There was the Samoan Southsider. I don't know what hood or barrio he's from. The one that punched Patty Nick from the side when he saw Patty Nick knocked out, slept the Southsider. He he was banging Southside. That was his thing, because you have that option, man. If they can vouch for you that you are from a Southsider hood, a Sureño hood, then they will they will accept you. They will let you ride with them, you know. So, but the thing is, there's a lot of hoods out there on the streets. For example, Maravilla, it's a Mexican hood. I'm not sure what's the dominant race in Maravilla's hood, but from what I know, it's a Mexican hood. And most likely, when they go to the Pinta, they're supposed to be allies with the Mexican mafia, with the Sur 13. They're supposed to go under them, but they did not. They refused. From what I know, from what I heard, correct me if I'm wrong. So they're mad about that. So from what I heard, also they put them on a green light for that because they want everybody. They want all the Mexican barrios or all the Mexican hoods to be all under united in one prison gang, the biggest prison gang, which is Sureños. You know, I can't say it in. I know what I know what it means in acronym Sureños, but I can't say it right here. I'm not sure if that's a public knowledge. You know, so but yeah, and you have the option if you're from the streets, for example. Um, for example, I'm from fucking Lennox 13. I go to the Pinta, I go to the penitentiary. I could ride with a Sureño because people can vouch for me from the streets. I'm a real gang member from Lennox 13, even if my race and my nationality is Tongan. And I want to use that as an example from the homeboy Joker, because from I met him personally in Kern Valley State Prison in the upper yard, A yard. He was one of the Tongan homie that bust a grape, kicked it off with the whites. And his history, he was a very respected Tongan Tamasi from Lennox 13. How? He put in a gang of work for the Sureños. He put in a gang of work. And after 10 years, or more than a decade of putting in work, he asked the shot caller for the Sureños, like, look, Doug, what else do I gotta do? I wanna go home to my peoples, man, to the Tongans. And they let him go. You earn so much respect for putting in work for the cause, for the Sureño. We're gonna let you go home. They gave him that respect, and that's hella respect to get to honor somebody else's respect. You know, and they let him go home, and he was with us, Joker. You know what I'm talking about? So that's another story, and then there's also another story named the Pare. They call him Warlock from Pinoy Real. It's one of the old Pinoy gangs in LA. PR. And when he was younger, the homeboy, the pare or warlock in YA, he was kicking it. He was kicking it. He was riding with the Sureños, with, under the Mexican mafia. And from what I know, he put in work for them, man. He was accepted, and he has a lot of, he has a lot, but he has a tattoo of a sur. I'm not sure if it's the whole word, the word Sureño, or just the sur. The sur. We're gonna have to check on that. I might have the pare come to the show if he, when he gets some time. But you know, from what the homies are saying, after he did his time in YA, 'cause YA is different. You know, if you want to ask me on a different, just DM me what's the difference between YA and CDC. CYA and CDC is a huge difference. CYA is just for kids. So, the pare warlock goes to LA County, the Asian gang module, tells everybody there, everybody over there, where you from PR, Pinoy Real. It's 100% Pinoy, it's Filipino. So he goes in there, and one of the homie noticed he got a sur tattoo on his back. So they questioned him, man, hey, what's up with that? You can't be with us. You're sur, you're a Sureño. You can't be with us. What you mean? I'm Pinoy. You know? What you mean I can't be with you? I'm Pinoy. Well, you got that tatted on you. So what? That's YA shit. All right. So what ended up happening was all the Pinoys, all the pares from that Asian gang module, they fucking took care of Warlock, dog. They fucking stabbed him to death, killed him. And after they did, of course, man, out of consideration, at least he's still Pinoy, no matter what. What they did was they dragged his body and through the door in LA County, knocked on the door so the police can pick up the body. Man, they're not just gonna leave the body in there, man. It's fucked up. At least pick him up, take him somewhere else. So, you know, nobody was thinking nothing of it. Nobody got caught, nothing. Then a couple days later and shit, what the pares that stabbed him, that what they don't know is that the police, they saved Warlock's life because they revived him with the defibrillator, one of those things that, you know, they bring somebody to life, revived him, bam. So the police asked him, hey, do you still want to go back over there? Yeah, man. So the pare warlock came back to the Asian gang module, and all the Pinoy, all the pares that stabbed him, that thought he was dead, they thought they saw a fucking ghost. Like, the fuck? What the hell is this? And then fucking Warlock stood his ground like, what's up, dog? Told you I ain't going nowhere, fool. I'm Pinoy. So all the Pinoys, all the pares over there from different hoods, different barrios, they just accepted him and shit, dog. So fuck it. You was ready to down for the Pinoy. You were ready to die for yours. We respect that. We're gonna accept you. They accepted him, and he was riding Pinoy ever since. So you have the option. You know, it don't matter what hood you're from. If you want to choose your peoples, you can go with your peoples in the pinta. And then if you want to choose, if you're from a Sureño hood, in the streets, if you're from a Southsider hood, and you can choose them also all the way. And you have the option. But you know, it's up to you. Whatever makes you happy. But like I was saying, man, those guys, man, they're fucking militant. They have a lot of mandatory code that they have to go by, or else you'll suffer the consequences. And I've seen a lot of honorable things that they did, man. Um, why do I say honorable? Why do I even say that? What does that mean, honorable? It means that when you say something and you have an obligation to abide by the code, they do it. Like, for example, my neighbor in Calipat, the homeboy just got out the home, man. I think he just did like a couple years or something. He just straight from the home, man. He just got out from school or something, and as soon as he got out, not even a couple months, he saw something in the yard that he didn't like, and instead of sending somebody else, he went and go did the mission again. Nobody knows their whole story, but I've seen them. They're fucking ready to die for the cause, and they're a lot of them. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them are proud Mexicans. So a lot of them, they do a lot of the Aztec tattoos. Aztecs, that's their ancestors. The ancestors, that was their warriors from back in the days. Their background, their culture. You know. But I seen some of the youngsters. I talked to some of the essays, some of the youngsters ones, or the one that don't care about the Aztecs. What the tattoos? It depends. It's some of them, they got tattoos from the street tattoos. I told him, man, how come you didn't got the Aztec tattoos? And sometimes some of them would say, and I don't give a fuck about that. His tattoos was all gang banging and shit. Motherfuckers are wearing rag, guns. It don't matter. It depends. You can't say one person would be the same as everybody else. That's just plain ignorance. But that's what I know, and that's my experience with the Sureños. And as I mentioned before, in Calipat, I was cool with some of them, man, because I was slamming, dog. During my prison time, I was slamming, and a lot of them, they were slamming too. So, you know, uh, I do business with them. I do everything with them. Not fucking everything. Take a shower with them or whatever you're talking about. Everything, business, um, associate, talk. Because in the Asian Islander car, we don't have mandatory rule that you can't talk to a certain race. We can talk to anybody we fucking want to. Just don't be stupid. Don't get yourself caught up. Don't get everybody else caught up. Don't do anything fucking that's gonna fucking jeopardize the whole car. Be responsible or else suffer the consequences. We're gonna get stabbed for that too. If you fuck up, you know. But yeah, that's it for now. I'm gonna cut this short. That's all my little story for my experience during my time with Sureños. And in the next videos, I'm gonna be talking about the other ones, like I said, and more of the questions, answer more of the questions from the comment section. So, thank you guys. If you got any questions or anything, let me know. So, anyways, say what you mean and mean what you say, homie, because real recognize real, homeboy. I'm out of here.